A judge just ordered a major change in how trials will proceed for the people accused of putting Elijah McClain in a dangerous chokehold and injecting him with a lethal dose of ketamine.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live this morning because a judge is splitting up the cases when it comes to the three former Aurora police officers and 2 paramedics going to court today.
This Adams County judge has ruled that the trials of those 5 Aurora police officers and paramedics that were charged in the death of Elijah McClain are going to be split up into 3 different proceedings. So let's run you through how exactly this is going to work. There's going to be a joint trial held for the 2 paramedics who injected McClain with that sedative ketamine. Another joint trial will be held for the 2 former officers charged. And then there's going to be that 3rd trial held for the former officer, Nathan Woodyard, who put McClain in that chokehold. The 5 officers and the paramedics, they face a combined 32 counts in the death of McClain. And the decision to actually go ahead and split up those proceedings, it was announced on Wednesday night. The judge who made it said that while the 5 defendants were indicted under one proceeding, the quote, factual circumstances do not neatly follow a typical co-defendant criminal matter. All 5 of those defendants, they're expected to enter pleas today in an Adams County courtroom. Of course, we're going to cover that for you and keep you updated with any new information. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Veronica, thank you. A national nonprofit is working to get $1 million in donations to the survivors and loved ones of the Club Q shooting. The National Compassion Fund held a meeting last night in Colorado Springs. The group has previously helped victims of the Uvalde shooting and the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. The group's executive director says that they're taking down names of survivors and validating their individual stories with officers in local hospitals.
Denver police have arrested 3 people in connection with a teen's murder nearly a year ago now. Police say these 2 men and 1 woman are involved in the death of 17-year-old Jasmine Rivas Hernandez. She was found shot to death in an alley near Colfax and Quebec last March. It's still unclear what led to the shooting. The Pikes Peak Library District in El Paso County is now testing the public restrooms at all 15 of its locations for meth contamination. It comes after other recent closures in the Denver area. First, it was Boulder's main library that was closed after meth residue was found. It has reopened, but cleanup cost the city $225,000. And then it was the RTD station's restrooms in downtown Boulder. Inglewood's Public Library and parts of its Civic Center closed, and most recently the Bemis Public Library in Littleton closed. An associate professor at the Colorado School of Public Health, well-versed in meth contamination, says the best thing facilities can do to protect overall public health is prevention, like frequent cleaning of touchable surfaces. Porous surfaces like carpet or upholstery are harder to clean and might need to be replaced. Simple hand washing with soap and water is also suggested.
Jeff Coe is giving an update on school closures. Back in November, the school board voted to shutter 16 elementary schools at the end of the school year. The district says since then, it's providing support to staff and families impacted by the decision. For staff, there are open houses at all receiving schools, resume writing and interview workshops, as well as staffing events. For families, there are designated enrollment specialists to help find another school. And this is just the first round of closures. The district is already looking at closing some middle and high schools. Enrollment in Denver public schools is down this year, mirroring a trend statewide that started after the pandemic. According to the latest numbers from the Colorado Department of Education, our state's largest school district lost more than 1% of its students from last school year, which is about 1,000 students. Statewide, about 3,200 students dropped.
A new report on the housing market has some mixed news for Colorado. It says new construction actually went up in December, but overall last year it was down by about 3%. So we're going in depth on housing this morning. If you're in the market to buy or sell, we're looking at housing prices, interest rates, and how to find affordable housing. Starting with the housing prices right now, the statewide average for the price of a single family home is $530,000, but prices have been dropping since April, so we asked if it's a good time to buy.
Having a primary home that you're living in offers a lot of assets to your family. Real estate is a long-term investment for people, and I think, we've kind of lost a little bit of that when we had the madness and the multiple years of double-digit appreciation, that's not a typical type of market that we experience.
Realtor Amanda Snicker there said if you're trying to buy, there is more inventory available this year. than a year ago when we had record low inventory.
One of the biggest problems for buyers over the last few months is mortgage rates. 2 years ago, we had record low mortgage rates, around 2%. Well, at that time, a $500,000 mortgage would cost about $2,700 a month. Last July, when mortgage rates hit a high of 7%, that same mortgage would run more than $4,000 a month. Now, mortgage rates are around 5%, meaning you'll pay about $3,500 for that $500,000 mortgage. It is an improvement, but those numbers can still be out of reach for many buyers. But there is a way that some sellers are helping buyers out.
There's ways that sellers can contribute to buying down the interest rate. There's a 2-1 buy down, which it's might sound kind of confusing, but they buy down the interest rate for 2% for the first year.
And that is a savings of about $600 per month, depending on your mortgage rate and your purchase price. If you do want to buy a home, it's best to get pre-qualified and to talk to a mortgage broker about your options. With these expensive prices, you may be wondering what cheaper options are out there. Colorado Housing Connects can help you.
Each week, we're hosting several affordable housing workshops targeted at Adams and Denver County residents to help them understand how they can best find housing that meets their budget and their situation. That there still is hope out there.
You can learn more by calling a housing navigator with Colorado Housing Connects or go to their website, coloradohousingconnects.org.
Colorado Senator Michael Bennet is helping hire and keep more firefighters in the state. He and a bipartisan group are calling on the director of the Office of Management and Budget to provide information on the availability and cost of federal firefighter housing. The letter points to the high cost and poor conditions when living in a remote duty station. Denver's Central Library will be closing Sunday for some renovations. The Children's Library and rest of the first floor will be closing for 2 weeks. You will still be able to pick up holds. The Central Library expects to reopen part of the first floor in early February, but with a temporary entrance. Work is still in progress on floors 2 through 7.